What's going on, guys? First video since weekly podcast this week, which means no more weekly podcasts stacking up on each other anymore. So I don't know if that's good or bad. Just depends on whether you wanted to see it. Also, we're in the same place that I usually do the weekly podcast, and the same crappy camera quality as well. So I mean, I don't know if that's good or bad either. But Apple has announced the new event, a new event, an October event, and let me say I am really excited. I told you guys, I told lots of people in both real life and on the internet that Apple would have an October 2018 event, that I was pretty sure that was going to happen. But no one believed me. Everyone said, this is it, we're done for this year. But they just announced it. It's happening, guys. Yeah, I was right. I was right. You guys should all just listen to me now. I should become one of these market analyst peoples because obviously I know I can predict better than they can. Day before Halloween, which is interesting. I doubt Apple's going to do anything Halloween themed here because they never do. But I mean, it's the day before Halloween, so that's a thing. Also, every time you refresh the page, that the Apple logo changes. So like sometimes people try to analyze whatever the logo thing is to figure out the theme of the event or whatever, but you can't really do that here because it's like different every time. Like, it's a lot of stuff. Good luck trying to make any sense. In terms of what products we should be getting here or having announced, we know the iPad Pro people talk about for a long time. Now the iPad Pro 10, the theoretical iPad Pro with minimal bezels, updated. So we're kind of due in for an upgrade at this point, a major upgrade, anyways. Of course, it's not the most advanced display on the planet anymore, but I think the display for this new iPad Pro 10, theoretically, I think it's going to be an OLED display like the iPhone 10 with minimal bezels like the iPhone 10, but I think also they should add in still the promotion technology from before, which basically reduced the refresh rate or increased the refresh rate. You can see that right here. So combine that with OLED and no bezels, and I think you're going to get something ridiculously expensive, but absolutely awesome. And it is the iPad Pro, so they can get away with doing stuff a little bit more ridiculously expensive, if you kind of get what I'm saying. As for the name of this new iPad, I do not think it will be the iPad Pro 10, because the whole reason the iPhone 10 was called the iPhone 10 is because it was the 10th anniversary of the iPhone, and 2018 is not the 10th anniversary of the iPad, so that would make literally no sense at all. But then again, Apple's naming scheme has not been really making any sense recently, so I can really see them go with much of anything here. I think that they will do something to differentiate this between the old iPad Pros, but probably not all that much because mostly with the iPads, they've mostly just been labeling the updates by years now instead of numbers. So like iPad 2018, iPad Pro, I think 2017 is iPad Pro we're on right now. So I mean, yeah, I don't think it'll be anything big. They might just call it iPad Pro 2018 or iPad Pro 2019, but I think they'll do something to differentiate that it's got an OLED display, hopefully, no bezels. I think it'll be pretty dang awesome, though. That's what I'm most excited for here. I think I'm more excited about an OLED all-screen iPad than I was about an OLED all-screen iPhone. I think it's going to be pretty dang awesome if they do it right. And this year, so I think there's pretty much no way that we're going to see an update to the budget iPad during this event. I'm thinking next year they come out with a no bezel 9.7-inch iPad as a budget iPad. It wouldn't be 9.7-inch anymore. They should come out with a bezel-less budget iPad with like an LCD. Think something along the iPhone XR lines, but for the iPad. But that probably won't be till next year since they just got this brand new iPad, budget iPad this year. So yeah, I'm thinking they just roll with the iPad Pros this time around. Now the other main thing being talked about with this event, or at some point in 2018, is a new budget MacBook. Whether it'll still be called the MacBook Air, I think that's up in the air right now, as with everything naming-wise with Apple devices right now. They could call it something completely different, but I think a new budget MacBook should have a better display. It may not be as good as the display on, say, the MacBook Pro, because you're paying a lot more there, but I have a MacBook Air right now. Overall, pretty dang good machine. Not as weak as I thought it was going to be for the specs. The one thing that bothers me the most about this device that I'm actually using right now to edit this video is the screen is not good. It's somewhere between a 720p and 1080p screen, but yeah, it's not even a full HD screen, terrible viewing angles, and it's not Retina. So I think a new MacBook should have a Retina screen, maybe not quite as top notch as the more expensive MacBooks because they want to keep it budget, but definitely something better than what we have now. I think they bump up the minimum storage a bit because for a computer device in particular, you're going to want to have a lot more storage. I think 128 gigabytes is a bit low to start, especially um, for a computer. And even for a budget computer, I think it still needs a bit more space to justify that price tag. I'd say probably start it at 256. I'd love if they started at 512. But at least start at 256 because 128 I don't think is enough to get by even on just a notebook type machine. I think especially at such a price tag should have some more storage built in. Also, we could use a processor bump. I'm not thinking they go quad core. Again, this is a budget computer, so I'm not thinking they go quad core. Probably just stick with dual core because that'll be more than enough for most budget computer users. But this is, even though Apple considers it budget, still a $1,000 computer, and I think you deserve more than a 1.8 gigahertz processor for $1,000. I think 2.2 is the bare minimum to go with here. I could even see going for like a 2.4. It is a dual core. 2.4 maybe as the base and bump up to like a 2.6 or 2.7. Again, it is dual core. So I think they could go a bit higher while keeping the price a bit cheaper. Again, it is a budget computer, but $1,000, I think you deserve a bit more on the, higher on the processing power side for how much you're paying. I think 8 gigabytes of memory is pretty dang good though for a budget computer. Maybe give the option to upgrade to 16 just in case somebody wants it. But I think 8 gigabytes is a perfectly safe to ask for starting price, or not starting price, starting storage amount for what is basically a budget computer, even if $1,000 is kind of ridiculous for a budget computer. That's still what it is in Apple's eyes, and I think 8 gigabytes of memory is enough for your average budget computer. On other design changes, though, I think that they dump the silver bezels and go for the more sleeker, modern black bezels that are used in all the other MacBooks. And probably offer it in space gray because they only offer the MacBook Air in silver right now. So I think they should go with at least offering it in space gray because that's the more standard color. And then maybe since it's a budget computer and Apple likes to go crazier with the colors on budget computers, maybe stick in rose gold and gold as well, like you did on the super tiny MacBook. And also, I think that even though it's a budget computer, especially because it is a budget computer, it seems weird for Apple to have their budget computer be their only computer they sell with a full slot of ports. So unfortunately, I think this revision of the MacBook Air, or whatever the heck they end up calling this, it's going to probably dump all the input ports for USB-C and probably just one of those. Maybe 2 ports if they're, feeling super generous, but probably just one. So, rip USB. I feel like USB-C, I'm a huge supporter of USB-C. I think it will be awesome once it's supported enough. But I feel like a lot of companies, not just Apple, a lot of phone manufacturers too, that started dumping headphone jacks for USB-C. I think we're pushing it a little hard, guys. Like, give it some time. An iPad out of the way revisions this year, and we're already seeing iPhone and Watch revisions this year. Apple TV would be the only thing left up in the air. And I'm kind of leaning toward no on this one because we got the Apple TV 4K like a year ago, and the Apple TV is not something Apple upgrades every year or anything. That's kind of every couple of years. I could see them maybe giving this talking about this a little bit. Maybe an updated version with some spec bumps or something like that, and maybe an updated controller. I could definitely see them at some point getting rid of the Siri controller or Siri remote for something else a bit more or a little less Siri remote-ish. But I don't really think that the Apple TV is something that's going to be covered during this event. I could be wrong. but I think since we got Apple TV 4K not too long ago, probably not going to be mentioned here. But if they do have a revision to the Apple TV, it's definitely welcome. I feel like the Apple TV, out of everything Apple's been doing recently, the Apple TV has been the biggest kind of hot mess, if you know what I'm saying. Like, the operating system versions make absolutely no sense to me, and they don't touch on it that much, and I don't know. There's just nothing about the Apple TV has really felt right to me. I know it just got reboot like a few years ago, but I really think the Apple TV needs another huge reboot. But after spending so much time, as they probably will, on a huge Mac revision and huge iPad revision, I think that the Apple TV is just going to be absent from this one. And those are kind of my initial predictions of what I think is going to happen during this event. Maybe I'm right. I probably will be right. Maybe I'm terribly wrong. And if I am, well, that sucks. But I think I'll be right. I've got to be right. Yeah, no. I will be right. This is what I think that we're going to see at this event. Like I said, I'm super excited for this event. Way more excited than I was for the last Apple event, mainly because I just really want to see what that new iPad is going to look like. I'm kind of interested about what kind of design choices they're going to make on the new budget MacBook, which I'm not really in the budget MacBook, market anymore. I'm actually trying to get a not budget MacBook, a high-end MacBook Pro for this channel, video editing, streaming, and stuff like that. I'm kind of out of the budget $1,000 budget. That's not really budget, but whatever. The budget MacBooks. I just want to see what kind of design choices they're going to make there. And yeah, and I'm really excited. Cannot overstate how excited I am to see an iPad with an OLED screen and no bezels. Do not disappoint me, Apple. If you come up here with like an iPad with no bezels and LCD, I'm going to be disappointed if you come up with an iPad with bezels and OLED. I'll be disappointed as well. That's a package deal. You got to have the no bezels and OLED. And I know that's going to be ridiculously expensive iPad, but it will be awesome. And if I'm never able to afford it, I will have great fun going to screw around with it and the demo at the Apple Store. Speaking of which, let me know down in the comments below or by liking this video whether you'd like to see me go actually to the Apple Store, do test out demos of new products when they come out. I've thought about doing that. I don't really know if you guys would care at all. So if you would care, let me know, because I would actually love to head on down to that Apple Store at some point and check out the iPhone XS, Apple Watch Series 4, iPhone XR, whenever that comes out. I just kind of want to see what that even ends up being in person. Whatever this new iPad is, whatever this new Mac is, I don't know. Let me know if you want me to go down and check it out at the Apple Store and have it on video for the channel. Also, let me know down below what any of your predictions are on what you think we will see at this event, or what you want to see at this event. Either one. They're basically the same thing, because with Apple, everything's up in the air all the time. You never know what kind of stupid decisions they're going to make. And I'll see you guys in another video, hopefully pretty dang soon. But I actually have no idea, because in case you new subscribers have not found out by now, this channel is very spontaneous and random in the uploads and live streams. If I feel like live streaming, I'll live stream. If not, I won't. And if I feel like making a video, or if I have time to make a video, I will. And if I don't have time to make a video, I'm not going to stay up till midnight making a video. I'm going to go to bed, and I'm going to not worry about making a video. So, I mean, it's just whatever. I should probably get more consistent. Whatever. See you guys later. Bye-bye.